Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Sanctuary Pico Union Project, we want to welcome you to our 2020 Kol Nidre service. We get it. It's tough times. It's been a strange year. It's been an odd year. But we want to be sure that you maintain the spirit of the holiday. And our spirit is that all are welcome. You know, sinners are welcome, saints are welcome, even I'm welcome. It's been a tough year and we're here on Zoom, but this is not a year off. This is not a year off. This is probably a year where it's more important for us to observe the things that we observe on Kol Nidre and Yom Kippur. And this is not a TV show, so there's three things you need to prepare. You only have a couple minutes to prepare. First, you need to prepare your technology so that you can be close enough to the screen to see us, and you can also be close enough to the screen to comment and chat and say things to us. Sometimes we see your comments and sometimes we don't, but you'll see each other's comments and you can support your community. You also need to prepare your holy space. Your home is your sanctuary this year. And so do what you must do to make that holy space holy and reverential. So prepare your space, get yourself ready. And then you need to prepare your spirit. So we're going to help you prepare your spirit. I'm typing in things as I go so that we know what's next. So here's a little something just to help you get yourself in the right frame of mind, get yourself relaxed. You see many of the people here on screen that are going to join us this evening, and we look forward to having a blessed and a wonderful and a spiritually enlarging service tonight. So here's some meditation just to get yourself in the mood.
Welcome to our sound meditation. I invite you to get comfortable, rest your eyes, and take some nice, deep, easy breaths. We're going to be experiencing a sonic massage using these beautiful sounds to relax the mind, relax the body, and massage into your whole being your intention for the next year. So I invite you right now to connect with your intention. What is your intention for this next year? So you can envision it in your mind's eye, and then notice the feeling that it gives you in your body. What is the feeling of your intention? How do you want to feel in the new year? And you can just take some nice deep breaths and just paint and spread that feeling throughout your whole body, massaging it into all of your cells. And allowing this sonic massage to massage it deep into your DNA. Using nice deep inhales and complete relaxed exhales as you go deeper into relaxation.
Welcome, everyone. I was talking with my mic muted. I'm Stuart K Robinson. I'm one of the prayer team here at the Pico Union Project. A lot of other wonderful people will be joining you this evening. Now that you've gotten yourself in the right state of mind to begin tonight's service, I want to tell you about someone else special who's with us tonight. I heard an interesting thing. First of all, I heard that the technical term for a lump of clay is actually called a clod. So that's where the term a clod came from. Well, we have a clod master here this evening. You're going to be seeing throughout the next 2 days, you're going to be seeing Benny Ferdman work with clay to create a piece of work that he's going to allow our service to inspire him. And I heard an author say an interesting thing, that the sculptor coaxes a sculptor from the clod of clay. So based on what we do here this evening, we hope to coax something wonderful. And I want to share a little bit of Benny at work, because this is what he'll be doing for the next 2 days, coaxing some piece of art from the emotions that we stir up in these services.
See the Shofar video, coat your shirt. You're gonna like this.
We'll see you.
Shana Tova, Gemar Chatima Tova. May we all be inscribed with a good inscription. As we welcome tonight, Kol Nidre, or Yom Kippur, it's sometimes called the Shabbat of all Shabbatot, the most ultimate and extreme Shabbat. So as I light these candles, I want us to welcome this Shabbat, this Yom Kippur, as a good friend, the way we'd want to welcome a good friend at our table this year. I just finished a book by the Israeli author Meir Shalev called A Pigeon and a Boy. And in it, through his descriptions of nature all around him, he said something quite profound, but that's kind of quite obvious, which is to say, he told us that while darkness falls from the center of the dome in the expanse, that light rises. The sun rises, light rises. And as I light these candles, I want us to think that although there has been so much darkness, there is good news. We can bring that light into being. Please join me in the candle lighting blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Thank you, Rabbi Schuldenfrei, my dear friend of many, 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 many years. We've led many services together, as I have with your husband. I've seen and known your kids since they were born. I mean, any kid that named Heschel, I mean, come on. It's fabulous. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. So I've had the privilege, everyone, of working with many, many rabbis. And they go back many, many years. I remember as a young man, I was maybe 15 years old, and Rabbi Elliot Dorff said, prayer is like baseball. You have to step to the plate before you can hit it out. And I remember Rabbi Sherry Hirsch saying, you must plan your run and run your plan. And I remember I can't remember Nat's last name.
Katz.
Thank you, Nat Katz, you're right, who said, let go, let be, let come. My desire, my hope is that you leave today with something, some memory, something that sticks with you. We've been working really hard for you. And it fills us up to have you here with us this evening. Think of the hokey pokey. It was Joel Grissaver who said, you got to put your whole self in, your whole self out. You got to put your whole self in and shake it all about. Berosh Hashanah yichatevu Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yichatemu Berosh Hashanah yichatevun Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yichatemu. Here's another rabbi. I'm going to attribute it to Rabbi Ed Feinstein. I don't know if it's true. But he said life is kind of like checkers. You can't make more than one move at a time. You can only move forward until you get to the end. The last row, and then you can move anywhere you want. What message are you going to leave with? What words are you going to take and move them to action? Berosh Hashanah yichatevun B'yom Tzom Kippur yichatemu Berosh Hashanah yichatevun Ubiyom Tzom Kippur yichatemu. So wherever you are, I ask you to stand if you're comfortable, sit if you're more comfortable. You'll probably be more comfortable sitting. I'm going to open up the ark. I'm going to take out the Sefer Torah. And we're going to recite Kol Nidre 3 times. Rabbi Schuldenfrei, I see you there. You have a memory from Kol Nidre that you want to share? Anything, any memory?
I think I remember my first Kol Nidre when I was first ordained as a rabbi. And I'm sure I was shaking and thinking and worrying that I wasn't worthy. And I recall something that Rabbi David Wolpe used to tell us all the time as young rabbis, which is, you feel unworthy because you are unworthy. You are the vessel and you are a human. And it's because of that human condition that we have Kol Nidre each evening, each year, I mean. And so it's with that humility that I come to this Kol Nidre.
Rabbi, the first time we say it, of three, we say what we're going to say. The second time we say it. And the third time we say what we said. I'm going to walk back to this Torah from 1909. I'm going to take out a Torah that was donated to the Pico Union. I will hold it, and we will recite a very, very alternative Kol Nidre.
There's a lover in the story, but the story's still the same. There's a lullaby for suffering and a paradox for blame. But it's written in the scriptures, and it's not some idle claim. You want it darker? We kill the flame. They're lining up the prisoners, and the guards are taking aim. I struggled with some demons. They were middle class and tame. I didn't know I had permission. Murder and to maim. You want it darker? Hineni, Hineni, I'm ready, my lord.
I've been dreaming of having Leonard Cohen open for me, so thank you for that experience, and I'm pleased to be here in this holy hokey pokey with all of you. This is Kol Nidre. I heard Kol Nidre on a violin tonight. They should take all legal documents and set them to music. All vows. This legal document, written in unholy language, a prenuptial agreement for our inevitable failing. This relationship with the year itself, a contract awaiting the biggest signature. Please cancel my subscription, but charge my card anyway. I don't deserve the content. Every promise I make, a guaranteed broken one between today and a year's worth of Jewish days from now. The next time the shofar is dusted off, we'll have this conversation again. Forgive me this year and next year and last year. Forgive everyone who ever stood at the mountain. Forgive our promises, our oaths, our vows, all vows. You made the whole world, and on this day and every day, you knew this would happen. Pardon me, please.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. You bring us here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Your presence fills creation.
You keep us here. Shehechianu.
You keep us alive.
Vekiemanu.
Sustaining our lives.
Vehigianu. Hazman hazeh.
Letting us reach this day.
Shehechianu.
You keep us alive.
Vekiemanu.
Sustaining our lives.
Vehigianu.
לזמן הזה. We made it. We're here. Some of us whole, some of us broken, some of us exalted, some of us surrounded by family and friends, and some of us all alone, but we've made it. We are here. We are blessed. We made it. Shehechianu v'kimanu. Shehechianu v'kimanu. Vehigianu lazman hazeh. Shehechianu
Keep us alive,
v'kimanu
sustaining our lives.
vehigianu. You've helped us to reach this day. We've arrived now at the beginning of our service. And we start with my dear, dear friend, Stuart. Bring us here to the service.
Yeah, it's a strange year, and yet all the more important to be here. I wanted to make sure I talked to everybody about our theme for this year, because I didn't want them to think we chose words to action as a slogan. I wanted them to know we chose it as a wish. I was reading Simon Sinek, who says that the keys to a functional community, and Craig, that's what you've been doing ever since you showed up at the Pico Union, trying to create and build community. But he says the key elements are perspective and empathy. But my question always is, how can I be empathetic toward you if I have no valuable perspective? And if I have no perspective, how can I serve your needs? And how can I serve your needs if I don't know your needs? And how can I know your needs if I've never been told your story? And how can you tell your story if I've never asked? I learned a new word this week. It's called mondegreen. A mondegreen apparently is something that you misunderstand because you heard it wrong. We don't want you to misunderstand words to action because it sounds like we're devaluing words. Hey, it's a judgment. Talk is cheap. Let's stop talking and get into action. But words to action sounds like a plea to get up and do something, but it's actually two pleas. The first plea is please use words to compel someone to use their own words, and then listen to their words, and then with that greater perspective, then take action. One doesn't work without the other. Talk is only cheap if the effort to truly learn the story is at low risk or low investment or low cost to you. We always assume we know people. Oh, Craig Taubman, I've known him for years. But do we? Because until you know his story, his pain, his dreams, you probably don't know him at all. We got to start with why. Our friend Jimmy is kind of a jerk, isn't he? Well, why? The quickest way to discover why Jimmy is a jerk is to know his story, his unspoken truths. And the way to get those truths is A, to actually ask him. B, to reassure him that his truths will never be used against him. C, reassure him he's not going to be judged while he shares his truths. And reassure him that you won't try to fix him. You'll only listen. And then we practice empathy. That's a true action. Because it's easy to lay the blame on Jimmy for why I don't know he's a jerk. He never told me. Well, I never asked. Had I asked, maybe I would know the horror Jimmy suffered at age 8, or the dream he was told again and again that he didn't deserve. And because he has a gruff, abrasive mask he wears to protect that soft underbelly of his soul, we can't know that Jimmy is living in fear, in pain, in despair, and in longing. It's not so hard to ask, will you tell me your story? So as we pound our chest this year, let's consider finding the words that will help us gain enough perspective and then give enough perspective to open the door to the action of empathy. That's words to action.
אבינו מלכנו, שמע קולנו. אבינו מלכנו, חטאנו לפניך. אבינו מלכנו, חמל עלינו ועלון עלינו ותאפנו. אבינו מלכנו, קל לדבר וחרב ורב מעלינו. אבינו מלכנו, קל לכל צער ומסתיר מעלינו. אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו, כותבנו בספר חיים טובים. אבינו מלכנו, חדש עלינו, חדש עלינו, שנה טובה.
That was a stunning poem by Zelda. Everyone has a name. That was Shani Zamir. Shani Zamir married Dotan. And now Shani Zamir, the singer, is known by Shani Zamir, the mama. Each of us has a name that we are given. Rick, I met for the first time, and you can bring Rick on camera right now, about 20 years ago, before he was a papa, before he was a father. I didn't know he was a poet. He was just a guy who always sat in the first row. Rick was the guy who sat in the first row. And then he met Addie. And then it was Rick and Addie who sat in the first row. And then Rick became a poet. And then Rick became a friend. And then Rick became known as a father to Jude. Jude is the guy in the middle, in the front row. Lead us in prayer, please. Father, Son, and I'll say Mother. We love you.
Too, Craig, part of the front row, just for full disclosure, is because we're not very tall. And even when we get to the second row, we're already lost between tall people. So thank you for having us again. This is the call to worship, the Baruchu. If you're comfortable rising, please do.
I'm standing, Rick.
Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. Am I awake
On this holy evening, it's only fitting that Craig tasked me with speaking about listening. So thanks a lot. But as my teacher, may his memory be a blessing, Rabbi Levy, used to teach, there are no coincidences. So it was so fitting that Craig asked me to speak about listening, because I was reading a book called You're Not Listening. And in her book, Kate Murphy, the full title is quite profound. You're Not Listening, What You're Missing, and Why It Matters. It concludes with a story that really touched my heart as a rabbi and as a mom and a daughter and a sister. It was about a man in a Catholic megachurch in Texas, where he sits for hours and hours upon each Sunday, listening and accepting confessionals. And what he told the author is that he's begun to think that there's a crisis of listening in our world. He said that there are people who want to talk, but very few who want to listen. And we're seeing people suffer from that. So he said his key to his confessional is just letting people talk. And at the very end, they say how nice it was to talk. But I didn't talk. I think it's just making yourself available to listen to the people. That's what they're starved for. But let me frame this in a familiar Jewish way, which is that to listen is holy because to listen is to love. The Shema is always found in what I call the profound love sandwich, or I should say cookie sandwich, because it's already Kol Nidre, so we have to make the food jokes now. So the Shema, the listening, is found between a prayer on love and another prayer on love. And it sits right there in the center. And so when we're truly connected with another, when we're not talking like I am right now, we're listening. And listening is love. So as we listen to the words of the Shema, as we imagine our own connection with our Creator, as we recall that tale of the Hasidic boy who played his flute in the back of the synagogue on the holiday of Yom Kippur, and we seek to connect with God and that potter with our souls in the clay in God's hands, let us seek to listen and to love.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehi Sefele Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Norat tehilot O Sefele Malchutecha Ra'uvanecha Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Zeli Anu ve'amru Adonai imloch leolam va'ed Adonai imloch leolam va'ed Chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot O Sefele Listen, and when you listen, you must be quiet. Shh. Michamocha, mem. When you're quiet, you can come up with a thought, a plan. What am I going to do next? You think. Michamocha was that thought process that led to the redemption of the Jewish people. It was that thought process that led to the redemption of African Americans during the Civil Rights Movement with Martin Luther King. It was the thought process that people stopped and said, you know what? People who are gender fluid or who think differently or act differently or are born differently than the majority but still represent a huge part of our society, LGBT communities. Move them to action. It's the group that moved to action Soviet Jewry and the freedom for Soviet Jews. It's the movement that started in 5 years ago, Black Lives Matter, and it was just a bunch of words, and now is a movement that people listened, thought, planned, and took the next step. Once you take that next step, you must be blessed with wholeness and peace and the blessing to wake up the next day. That's this prayer. That's the last prayer in this section of prayers. You listen, you're moved to action, and then you say, thank you, please God, bless me with peace. Cover me with your blessing of peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Ushmor tzeteinu Uvoenu Lechaim ushalom Me'ata ve'ad olam. May you cover us in peace as we listen, as we
On Yom Kippur.
It's a prayer of standing. It's called the Amidah. And I'd like to bring into the picture right now our sculptor. And we're going to pray to you. We are going to stand in awe of your creativity, Benny.
We are like clay in the hand of the sculpture. It is written in the text. Expanding at will and contracting at will. We are like clay in the hands of the sculptor. So are we tonight in your hands. Preserver of kindness, like the stone in the hand of the cutter, we are like clay in the hand of the potter. So are we in your hand, source of life and source of death. Let us take a few minutes to watch Benny, to look deeper into ourselves, into our tradition, to listen.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha, V'Chata V'Nakeh.
That was great. Thank you, Benny. You know, we were actually supposed to have a gentleman from London sing, but he's not up yet. So that's just joking. Honestly, I forgot to play this video. Is that Heschel? Is that Heschel right there? Can we put Heschel, Rabbi? Oh my God, Heschel, how are you, buddy? I can't hear you. We still can't hear you, but you're hugging, and that's good. Okay, we love you. We're gonna play now a video of Daniel Cainer. He's an amazing artist from London, and it's just, this song, he played it, I think he debuted it here 2 years ago when he was visiting from London for Yom Kippur. And it's called On Yom Kippur Day. Daniel Cainer.
On Yom Kippur, I'll say the prayers in English or in Hebrew. I'm sorry for my trespasses, for what I've done and what I did not do. I may not be religious, it may all be hard-headed, but if I'm sincere for at least one day of the year, maybe I'll find God there. On your try to be still and patient. I'm a grain of sand, I'm a blade of grass, I'm a spark in the arc of creation. And let my mind be silent, let me feel something pure and rare. Let my anguish cease, let me make my peace, and maybe I'll find God there. On Yom Kippur, I'll beat my chest in the house of God. I'm a skeptical guest. Show yourself, give me a sign, flicker the flame, knock over the wine. If you're there, knock once for no, knock twice for yes. On Yom Kippur, my year is done. It's the footer and the header, and the oaths I swore can be annulled. And next year I swear I'll do better. And I'm praying for forgiveness for everyone, everywhere. If I can wipe the slate clean and be someone I've not been, maybe I'll find God there. Maybe I'll find God there.
Wow. 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 Is everybody here now? Oh, this is great. You know, it's funny because I was going to ask for that. So intuitively, Stu, I think you knew it. So you haven't spoken in a while. What are you feeling right now, Stu?
I realize all the things that I've been holding in for the past 6-7 months, just trying to be strong and get through it. And it's an interesting thing for one night to be able to kind of let your guard down and let yourself feel things and hear beautiful music and beautiful words and wise words, and to watch Benny create something from nothing. I'm feeling like that's a very profound feeling, to just let myself feel, because I've been just trying to be strong and hold on.
So you're right now, you're like, you really are in the moment, you're saying. You're like, you're not planning. Because honestly, for me, I'm saying, oh, so this is next, and we have to do that, but you're in the comfort of your home, your sanctuary, your safe place. Can we switch spots tomorrow?
Can we switch spots? Yeah, sure. You get Muhammad Ali, I get.
Right. What about you, Addie? How are you feeling? Can we put you on the big screen so we can see you? Addie?
Muted.
You're muted. Unmute. No, you're muted. You're muted. This is something. Okay. How about Rabbi? How are you feeling?
Well, right now, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Right now I feel amazing because my youngest son, Jesse.
Oh my God, no. I just said Heschel, and that's Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So what I noticed as soon as he sat on my lap is that my heart's beating so fast because I'm leading the service and the adrenaline's pumping, but his heart's beating slow, and I'm able to hold it close to me, and it helps center me to be in the moment as we prepare for everything. So it feels really good.
So I'd like to go to Valerie in a minute, but why don't you type in, if you're online right now, why don't you tell us what you're feeling? Share what you're feeling. And Valerie, we're going to cut to you on the piano. Tell us what you're feeling, either on the keys or using your words. What are you feeling?
Well, I'm just feeling, it's strange being in this place with not the usual crowds that we're used to on these holidays, and but just hearing everybody's voices, and I don't know, it still gives a beautiful sense of community. So I'm really feeling that, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it and here in this space.
Thank you. Rick and Addie, are you live now? Can we hear something from you?
Can you hear us?
No, we can hear you. Perfect. We're
Lauren,
listening
tell the
too.
man something.
It's taken a little while this evening to be in the moment. Thank you, Stu, for what you said, because I think I've settled a little bit, and it's wonderful to be here in the Zoom room. It's definitely a different experience, but I can feel the love just being here.
Thank you.
There's a vibe that you bring to things that you do, Craig, that is present here now. Some of it is behind the scenes. Some of it is just the way that you are in front of the camera. And it really, for me, sets the tone for the whole experience and helps bring me into the moment. And so thank you for that. And I'm here because of it.
And Craig, I want to add, I'm hearing, because I'm handling all kinds of technology at the same time, that people are having trouble sending in messages via the website. So I know they're sending love, but they're not able to type it in. So
Maybe we just need to be better listeners, Stuart.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So,
The
Rabbi.
technology doesn't always want to cooperate with our desire to listen, does it?
That's true. And sometimes it's best that we don't cooperate with technology, and we just are present. Rabbi, this is the cornerstone of Kol Nidre and Yom Kippur. Can you introduce this next section for us, please?
Yes, so Stu, yes, you very much also brought me into the moment of the past many months and all we've been through. And this communal confessional is designed because while one of us might not have committed all of these missed marks, everyone here has something to say together. And when we say it together, we can live in a more real truth. I want to share this teaching of my husband, Rabbi Brian Schuldenfrei, who encourages us not to pound our chest, but to open a hand and to have some self-compassion in this confessional process, and to gently, or not so gently, I suppose, welcome what this all means into our hearts directly. So I'll invite you to practice in a pluralist fashion, whichever way most resonates with you. And we have the traditional confessional of Judaism, Ashamnu. I'll read some of the words in Hebrew and chant them, and you can repeat after me. I'll pause, and then I'll use an interpretation of what they mean in English. Ashamnu.
Ashamnu.
We abuse. Bagadnu.
Bagadnu.
Pray. Gazalnu.
Gazalnu.
We are cruel. Dibarnu dofi.
Dibarnu dofi.
Destroy.
Veha kulam. Eloha slichot.
He'evinu.
He'evinu.
Bitter. Behir shanu.
Vehir shanu.
We falsify. Zadnu.
Zadnu.
We gossip. Hamasnu.
Hamasnu.
We hate.
Ve'ah.
Al sheker.
falnu sheker.
Insult.
Ve'al kulam Eloha slichot.
Yatsnura.
Yatsnura.
We jeer. Kizavnu.
Kizavnu.
Kill. Latsnu.
Latsnu.
Mock. Maradnu.
Maradnu.
We neglect. Niatsnu.
Niatsnu.
Oppress.
Ve'al kulam Eloha slichot. Slach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu. For all of these we ask one thing of you. Forgive us, return us, grant us life anew. Forgive us. Forgive, and may you be forgiven. So we are at the tail end of our service now, and we are going to honor all of the people on whose shoulders we stand. I'd like to ask Deborah to set up the mourner's Kaddish now. And just take it away, Deborah. Thank you.
So it certainly is important for us to mention and note that one of these people upon whose shoulders we stand, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, has left the earth and has gone to her heavenly home with God, and certainly I couldn't be doing what I'm doing without her. But regardless of how much of a giant of her generation she was, any one of us that's thinking of someone who is no longer on this earth with us in body and in spirit, we're connected to them through the words of the mourner's Kaddish, which is really just an exaltation of God's great name and God's many great names. So as you think of the name, like Craig started us off the beginning with the poem of the poet Zelda, each of us has a name. I want you to think of those names in your hearts, those names in your experiences, all of the names. And this is a part where we'd usually go through and ask each one of you to share the name of someone that you love, who lives on because you love them. And we will continue to say their names. So I'm going to pause and remind you that whether you say the name out loud or whether you say the name in your heart, that God hears all. So I'll invite you to say those names right now.
I say the name as we watch this video of my Uncle Louis, who asked me before he died, he said, "Craig, would you be my Kaddish?" I said, "Sure. What do I have to do?" He said, "I have no wife, I have no children. When I die, would you say Kaddish for me? Would you be my Kaddish?" This is in honor of my great Uncle Louis, my mother's father's brother. Didn't I tell you I loved you? Didn't I show you I cared? Didn't you know you mattered? Wasn't it life that we shared? The time keeps ticking, our lives keep slipping away. Now that this journey is over, somehow it doesn't seem fair. Now there is no one to talk with, no one to walk with and be with. Still everything seems to remind me, as if you're beside me, still there. And time keeps ticking, our lives keep slipping away. Now that this journey is over, somehow it doesn't seem fair. I can't hold the wind, I can't slow the ride, I can't stop the rivers from flowing. I can't hold the tears, I can't slow the tide, I can't stop the seasons from coming and going. I hope that I told you I loved you. Hope that I showed you I cared. I hope that you know you mattered. What a great life we did share. What a great journey we share.
So we continue after that introduction with the words of praise, the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Feel free to join with me or to join in the refrain so that all of the mourners can be comforted by the thought that we are saying Amen to them. Yitz gadal v'yitz kadash shemei rabba ve'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv ve'imru Amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach le'alma u'la'almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Now join with me, everyone, in a prayer for peace. O say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. God, who makes peace in the high heavens, make peace for us, for all of Israel, and for the entire world, especially at this moment, especially at this hour, especially in this darkness. And let us all say together, Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Rabbi. Stu, let's close this up. I know we were going to end with a song. I think what we should do right now, we should talk about our next step, okay? Show the video, and then you just bring it home with the message, okay? And I think the video is going to speak for itself. We can talk, but I think we should not talk right now. We should just listen to the video. Are you cool with that? We're a little. You're cool?
I am.
Okay, so let's roll the video. This is.
I've been young, now I'm old.
נער הייתי וגם זקנתי, ולא ראיתי צדיק נעזר וזרעו מבקש לכם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו ושלום.
We want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Our biggest goal is to somehow touch your hearts and to maybe make the point that an idea is nothing without an action connected. We have these rituals that we recite and repeat other people's words, and yet we've got to find a way to bring it home. Bring it to us. We, of course, are going to be back here tomorrow morning, early in the morning, for our Yom Kippur service, and we trust that you will join us then. We've all been saying, people have been saying over and over again, oh, all these months I've been stuck at home, and I'm tired of it. Well, isn't it amazing that tonight is the night where we actually seek to go home. We seek to find home. We seek to open our homes and prepare them for the coming year. We thank you again for staying with us. Let's close with a song. It's about home and how difficult it can be to find. Plagued by the darkness, searching for the light. How long must I roam to find my way home?
Stu.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you for making our home complete. Thank you for filling our sanctuary with your voice, your love. Thank you, Deborah, and all of the contributors, and Rick and Addie and Jude and Rabbi Schuldenfrei. The Pico Union family here has been feeding 2,000 families a week in our neighborhood. What you saw earlier, the video showed some of those families. Full disclosure, I did not shoot that without a mask in front of that group. It was superimposed on those videos. We are inaugurating a program tomorrow. It's called Pico Union Partners. We need you to go from your homes and fill up homes that don't have the same privilege. Homes in the Pico Union neighborhood, on average, have 2 families living under one roof with the average income between $20,000 and $24,000 a household. There's no internet. There is no supermarket within 2.5 miles of here. It's a food desert. Tomorrow, we're not going to talk about food sustenance. We're going to talk about how we can take the next step to mentor the next generation, to make sure that our homes are partnered with homes that are at risk, to raise them up, not on our shoulders, but side by side, shoulder to shoulder, to give everybody in our community the opportunity that we have. Avinu Malkeinu, my creator, my leader, my source, my creator, my leaders out there in the community, all of you leaders, all of you followers, let's commit tomorrow to making a difference. And thank you for joining us this evening. Benny, do something magical with that little pottery thing. We'll see you tomorrow. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova, everyone.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed Ve'emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata V'Nakeh.